Right, this video is just the pure steps that you need to learn, ideally off by heart. You need to learn so you can do a VLOOKUP. Now these steps will be exactly the same regardless of what exam it is and what spreadsheet you've got open, what scenario it is. They'll be exactly the same, so you want to learn these off by heart, and then you don't need to worry about remembering them in the exam. All you need to concentrate on is working out what the question's asking you. These steps are fairly straightforward to remember. I'm going to do a couple of examples, the March 14 and the June 16, and I'm just going through the steps that you need to learn for a VLOOKUP. The first example is they want to find the daily hire rate from the car's workshop from the car ID, or for each car ID. Step 1, make sure you're in the right box, where you want the answer to be. Step 2 is click on the insert function box and then choose VLOOKUP. Step 3, and always the hardest step, is choosing the lookup value. They've told us is the car ID, so go along the row that you're in and click on the data under the car ID. In this case it's D2. That's it. Step 4, click into the table array, find your lookup table, select it all with your mouse, and then the really important step, step 5, is to lock it, F4. Whilst you're there, look up which column you're going to want to return the data from. They're looking for the daily hire rate, so it's not columns 1, 2, 3, it's column 4, which is D. You actually put the number 4. It tells you over on this side what format you should be entering the data in. So number 4, you see what happens as soon as I clicked on it, it went back to the other page. And the lookup value is a exact match. We want to get an exact match, not a range of values, so we put in false. You can put in 0, but I think it's safer to stick with the word false. Check there's no problems there's no red writing or no issues. Click OK. Step 7 is to copy the data down. I'm clicking on a little green box and either dragging it down or double clicking. The final step is to do a quick check to make sure everything's okay. Go down towards the end, click into the edit box. Yeah, you've got the right, you're on row 23, the answer's going in there, it's selecting in this case D23, but we are still using A1 to D22. So the lock-ins worked. Go to the cars. What one that was HA1, 40 quid. Do one more. Do TY3, it's 32. TY3, it's 32. So yeah, that's all working okay. Needs centering and formatting, but that's the straightforward VLOOKUP. I'm just going to do that again. So delete that. Step 1, make sure you're in the right box. Step 2, open up the VLOOKUP function. Step 3, choose the lookup value. Step 4, click in the table array box and then select the table, lookup table. Step 5, lock that table with the F4 key. Step 6 is to add the column index number, but whilst you're in the previous step, just work out which column it is. It's column 4. Click in the column index, put 4. Step 7, click in the range lookup and type false. OK that. Step 8 is to copy it down. Step 9, the last step is to double check everything's okay. Right, I'm going to go on to the next example now, and this is using the June 2016. I've sorted the table and highlighted it and calculated the remaining stock. So we're on this one here. Use a lookup function and the information in cells I5 to J8 to enter the reorder level for each product. Now, product is one of the data column headings we want, but it's not bold. So we'll go back to the table to go back to the data sheet. We can immediately see that there's a table on its own sitting here that hasn't got any blank cells in it, so we don't have to put any data in there. So that sort of suggests to you that it is a lookup table. If we don't have to fill it in, what's it there for? It's there to reference. It's a lookup table. Now they also said they wanted a reorder level, so that's where we're going to put the answer from the product. But the product's got two descriptions, type, or two headings, type and description. So it depends which one's in here. It's type, so we know that is going to be, that column is where we're going to get the lookup value from. So on our first one it's going to be A5. So step 1, click where you want the answer to be. Step 2, click on the insert function and open up VLOOKUP. Step 3, click on the lookup value. Step 4, to click in the table array and select the lookup table. Step 5, the most important step really, lock it with F4. Step 6, click in the column index and we want column 2. There's 1, there's 2. Step 7, click in the range lookup and type false. Check everything's okay, there's no red writing or errors. Click OK. Step 8, copy it all the way down, or replicate the function all the way down the rest of the data. Last step is check that it's worked. Marmalade 45, marmalade 45, pickle 50, so seems to be alright. Chutney, jam 60, 75. So that's worked fine. I'm going to do it again for you. Now this is for the people that have got the steps in their head. These are the keyboard shortcuts you can use to speed things up a little bit. Don't want to worry about these if you're new to it, but if you've already sussed the VLOOKUP, might be worth using the keyboard shortcut, speeds things up a bit. Step 1 is click where you want the answer to be, and then type the equal sign, that must go in as you know between all formulas and functions, and then VL, the VLOOKUP pops up. You hit tab to select it. The lookup value, you can either type A5 and it registers it with a little blue box, or instead of typing it you can just use your arrow keys to step to it. It's A5 and then it's a comma. The table array, again you can use your arrow keys and select holding down the shift key. Selected it and then hit F4, comma, type 2, comma, type false. And you don't have to close the bracket, it will close it for you if you just hit enter. And now to copy it down, you go back up to it. First step is telling Windows what you want to, Excel what you want to copy. The second step is selecting the boxes you want to copy it to. So I'm holding down the shift key and doing my down arrow. And the last step is the control key and the D key at the same time. That copies down. Okay, hope that was some help. Any questions, please just put them in the comments and I'll try and answer them.